What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to check in with Premium Booster 01, PRB 01, and we need to have a look at the most expensive cards from the set. And things are changing quite rapidly here. So I'm going to spoil the surprise a little bit. We have gotten to the point where basically it is, with one exception, it is just a whole bunch of Super Parallel Don, which might not be too surprising, to be fair, given how amazing they are, and they really are the real highlights of the set, the real showpieces of the set. Back when I showed you this previously, the full art of the Sanji leader was coming in at 13,000 yen, might have been able to bully its way onto the list. Not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is sitting at a 6,000 yen card, and it's not even close, mate. I'll be honest with you. It is really not even close. There is only one card which can actually go and get its way onto this list, and honestly, if you think about it for a couple of seconds, you're going to realise what it is, and if you don't, we'll get to the end of the video and you'll see and you'll be like, oh yeah, obviously. Cool? Cool. So let's start off then with a joint number 10. I'm going to say, in at number 10, the Gekko Moria Super Parallel Don, which is coming in at about 10,000 yen. For what it's worth, there's actually a pretty clean cutoff. There are 6 Super Parallel Don that come in at 8,000 yen, but there is actually quite a clean top 10 here, which makes me very happy. So we've got 9 of these Don that come in at 10,000 or more. There's 30 Don, which means roughly 1 in 3 comes in at 10,000 yen or more, and then 1 in 2 comes in at 8,000 yen or more. 10,000 yen, if anybody's wondering, because most of you probably don't work in yen too much. 10,000 yen, you're looking at, well, exactly $70. $70.03 if you want to be a pedant, but right now, I think $70 will be fine. 8,000 yen is $56.03, weirdly again. So, yeah. Very much worth buying, or pulling. But remember, the Super Parallel Don is 1 per case. So 1 per 10 boxes. The reality is, you're probably not going to get one of these. I opened 2.5 boxes over in Japan, and I pulled some cool stuff. I was very happy with the pulls that I made. Did not get a Super Parallel Don. Got a couple of Parallel Don. Weirdly, both of them Uta. Strange. But I did not get any Super Parallel Don, so sorry about that. So that's what we've got at number 9. In at number 10, same value, 10,000 yen. We've got Nefertari Vivi. And if you want to switch these two around, they might end up getting switched around. Right now, if I have a look around, Vivi tends to just about edge it out. But it really is very, very close. And here, basically, Vivi is a very popular character. We've got a Vivi leader. I dream of the day it's going to be good, but it hasn't happened yet. And actually, it's kind of cool, because the Vivi leader is referencing that scene in the anime/manga, and the Don is referencing the same scene, which is kind of cool. But whereas, like, Gekko Moria is playable, now, to be fair, it was the best deck in OP06, the best black deck, or best deck overall, to be fair. Since we've gone to OP07, there's, like, 2 better black decks. Luffy was only part black, but still. And Rob Lucci, so it's not like it was, admittedly. But it's a darn sight better than Vivi right now. I want Vivi to be a great deck. Nefertari Vivi is a deck that I personally get very excited about, but I'm not actually pretending it's good. So this coming in at number 9 is essentially people saying, I like the character, I like the scene in the anime/manga it's referencing, but some of these are here because of the characters, some because of the leader and actually playing it. This is very much a character thing, whereas Gekko Moria was far more of a, hey, this is actually good. Coming in at number 8, we've got my personal favourite, which is your Peronodon, which is coming in at 13,000 yen. Although the next couple are all going to be tied, so it's up to you. It's a little bit weird, but yeah, You can decide the order on these a little bit if you like. I'm going for generally what I've been seeing around, but there is a chance that these do change. The order gets bumped around, so, you know, I'm putting this here. No, I haven't pulled one of these, which is very sad. I've got about half of the Parallel Don. I don't have the Perona. I need to fix that. And Perona was a pretty playable card. Popped up in a bunch of decks here and there. The reality is, right now, it's not really representing as a particularly good deck. Sorry about that. But it's Perona and she's cool. And that's why I want it, at least. In at number 7, also a 13,000 yen, we've got the alternate art Ace Don. And here, this is very much just a popularity contest that Ace has won. Yes, we have a leader Ace. It came way back in OP03. But, look, it's been a little while at this stage. We know it's not that good. And I'm sorry if that upsets anyone. But, look, it's been a while at this stage, alright? We know it's not that good. But Ace is one of the three brothers. Ace is an incredibly popular character, so that kind of helps to explain it. It's also Cool Lovely Don, but hey-ho. I mean, my favourite Don outside of the Perona is actually the Iceberg Don, which is one of the very, very cheapest Don around. So, I'd love the Iceberg Don. I've got a couple of the Parallel Don. I will probably end up getting the Iceberg Super Parallel Don, just purely because it's cheap. Like, as I record this right now, and bearing in mind I'm looking at websites online so I can get data that fits together, and they tend to be slightly more expensive. So this is a shop which is going to be on the higher end. The Iceberg Don is generally going to set you back. The Super Parallel, 4,000 yen. Which is $28. It's less than a box. Alright? So, yeah. Coming in at number 6, we've got Yamato, also at 13,000 yen. And here there is an element of character and an element of playability, but this is, again, more character than anything else. Because let's face it, right? Yamato, very, very popular. And once again, like a lot of these, it's a leader I like very much. It's a leader that I expected to be better. A leader I actually pulled in OP06. And the fact that we've got double attack and you can give Rested Don to one of your characters every turn, it just seemed really good. But look, it's been around for a while at this stage, and I think we can all say with a fair degree of certainty, it's not good enough. Sorry. Coming in at number 5, the last of the 13,000 yen Don, and again, if you want to reorder these, I'm totally okay with that. It's Luffy. Anyone really going to argue against Luffy being the highest of the ones that are ostensibly tied? Nah, mate. And the thing about Luffy is, Luffy's all over the place in terms of leader, and I don't see that as a bad thing, but like for a long time, but go to the OP05 format, and we saw Purple Luffy being one of the best decks in the format. It won the Oceania and Latin America finals. Great deck. But nowadays, we're looking at Starter Deck 13 Luffy, the black and yellow Luffy, being an incredibly good deck. But then I'm seeing a lot of buzz for the Starter Deck 14 Luffy around at the moment as well. And that's the other thing. You invest in a set of Luffy Don, you know you are going to be able to use that Luffy Don in a good deck in the future, because they're going to get like 47 other Luffy leaders in the next couple of years. Just kind of putting that out there. Now, in at number 4, we actually jump a little bit here to 15,000 yen, and we've got ourselves the Law Don. And actually, whereas the non-Don cards are coming down in price, these ones not so much. This one is $105, and there's a couple of things going on here. Partly, it's Law and everybody loves Law, but partly, Law is an absurdly good card, but then again, Law's getting banned. Now, if Law didn't get banned, I would just expect the price of this Don to go up and up and up. But with Law being banned, we're going to go back to like OP01 Law, which is fine. But it's not the same, ladies and gentlemen. It is not the same. In at number 3, we've got the Utadon coming in at 20,000 yen. And 20,000 yen here. I like how these are all coming out as round numbers. Come on, Uta, don't let me down. $140.07. But I think we can knock the 7 cents off and just call it $140. And here, we got a couple of leaders. None of them are particularly good right now. But what we do have is Uta, one of the most popular characters in the whole of One Piece. And it's weird that I pulled 2 Parallel Don from packs and they were both Uta. I have a bunch of the others, but I had to pick them up in stores. Boo! But I pulled 2 Uta, and that makes me quite happy. But just to be 100% clear, this is once again a popularity contest. So coming in at number 2, the last of the Don, we've got ourselves Roanoa Zorodon. And again, Zoro is just one of the big characters in One Piece, but is Zoro really like that much bigger than, for instance, Luffy or Uta or any of those? I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say probably not. But I do think there is a big element here of the actual design of the Don as a whole is extremely cool. And also, we've got the really good Zoro from OPO 1, which has never really gone away. It's always out there threatening to come along and be good. But I do kind of feel like Zoro's going to be another one of those characters that just keeps getting leaders. So I do feel like at some point in the future, this is going to be relevant again. Are other people thinking about that when picking up the Don? I'm not entirely sure. But, you know, maybe they are. This one, I should say, is 30,000 yen, which is an absurd amount of money. And you might be able to do the maths on this one yourself. It's $210.03. I love how round they're coming out here. This makes me happy. $210, obviously a huge amount of money. And that's just for one Parallel Don. It's going to set you back $2 grand. $2,100 to try and get a playset of these. Sorry about that. And then obviously number 1 is your Manga Nami. Obviously. Come on. It's always going to be Manga Nami. It has dropped significantly. When I showed you last time, it was 130,000 yen. Now it's only 100,000 yen. But you're still talking, well, actually exactly $700. Like $700 and 0 cents as we come in at the moment. So yeah, that is a redonk amount of money. But then again, it's Nami and it's a manga rare. And this does make sense. It's a little bit of a shame that the other cards like the leader Sanji have fallen off of the list. But if you're looking at which Don you want to be pulling when this set comes out in English in a couple of months, I've given you the list. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of these in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.